everybody, welcome to the Nerditorium. I'm Tejas.
And I'm Dinkar.
And today we're talking about the secret Pixar formula to make you cry.
Yeah, which they deploy very well every single time.
Not every single time. That's what we have. So we've done a longer episode on this in our podcast.
We thought about this after we talked about Incredibles 2 on the podcast and then went into Pixar in depth.
This is true.
Did Incredibles 2 make you cry?
It didn't make me cry, but it made me laugh, which was, I mean, most Pixar films do,
Also
but
very
it did. We've always said that The Incredibles are like kind of outside the realm of the Pixar movies in terms of like what they're trying to accomplish in their overall consistency, like overall consistent storytelling.
True.
It's like an action adventure thing about people, but most of Pixar's movies have been, you know, anthropomorphic versions of like toys or bugs. I mean, not bugs. Bugs are, you know, how they look.
Yeah.
But everything else, you know, it's like things that come to life and have emotions and feelings.
I think what unifies the Pixar movies more than anything else is the fact that they all destroy your soul.
Yes,
by
this is true.
reducing you to a pile of tears.
Man,
so
yeah.
I think like their entire business model is generating revenue from tissue companies.
Yeah, man. Oh, what? No, I was gonna say
they make it cry.
by moving audiences to tears and then having them recommended.
And then having like freaking Masafi tissues give them some kickbacks.
Wow, Masafi tissues. Good.
I
good,
couldn't
good.
think of another tissue company, to be honest.
So, we're going to talk about Pixar movies, and we're going to talk about why... Okay, so why we love them is because, you know, apart from the fact that, you know, they work really well as animated films for, say, younger audiences, is that adults can go for them, find all, you know, the slightly more mature jokes, but also kind of like they have themes that kind of bridge the gaps between young people and old people. And I think that's never been more truer than, you know, in
fact,
films like
I feel
Up
like,
and stuff. You know?
Yeah, the heavier themes might hit adults closer to home because what we arrived at is that the unifying theme for all Pixar movies pretty much that makes you cry is the fear of being forgotten.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, this is the theme. The fear of being forgotten and say the loss of innocence are two themes that have managed to kind of find themselves in all the films. And this is only something I've noticed very recently, actually.
Because we're slow.
Yeah. It didn't come to me until they literally did a movie about, you know...
The fear of being forgotten.
The fear of being forgotten.
Inside Out.
Oh, well,
what were you talking about?
I was talking about Coco. Which you have seen? You have seen?
True. No, I haven't seen.
Okay, so Coco is about the Dia de los Muertos, which is the, you know, Mexican Day of the Dead, in which, you know, in their culture, it's like you go and you know, put stuff around. You basically put your deceased ancestors and your family members who are no more. You put their photographs on the ofrenda, which is like this little kind of shrine, and then you go and you bring all the things that you used to love, you know, like whether it's, you know, food or anything like that, and you bring it to their graves and you have a little do, like a picnic kind of thing.
Have a little do.
Yeah, exactly. And this movie is literally about that. It's about how, you know, one kid who wants to be a musician but his family doesn't want him to be a musician. He kind of has to go into the land of the dead. He gets transported there and he has to find a way home, but he also wants the blessing from the only member in his family who was a musician. Right. So that's what the story is about. And after watching this movie, I was just like, man, why am I crying again about something which I feel like I've seen before? And then we started kind of rolling it back and seeing that we found this theme in a lot of films.
I mean, I mentioned Inside Out just now because I felt that quite literally brought to life the idea of being forgotten.
Yeah, especially with, you know, is it Bing Bong?
Yeah, the childhood friend.
The childhood, like imaginary friend. Yeah.
Who in a devastating moment learns to accept that he's meant to be forgotten.
So, you know how they play that also?
Brutal.
Like when you meet Bing Bong, like I didn't like him because it did feel like a
he's
very
supposed to be
childish,
an annoying childish guy.
Yeah, and then the moment he's like, okay, Bing Bong out, I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That destroyed me, man.
All the Toy Story movies also essentially deal with that because their fear is
the whole
that...
theme of Toy Story.
Their fear is that the kids who own them will grow up and forget them.
Yeah.
And
not like us, where we put them up on our shelves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These guys all come to life as soon as we roll, as soon as we cut.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Toy Story has dealt with that a lot. I think the loss of innocence is something else that has also featured a lot in their films. Like Monsters Inc. is something that kind of, I mean, I love that movie, but amazing concept. But I think also the fact that, you know, there's this little girl and, you know, these monsters who are supposed to be, you know, people who scare them to power their entire network. end up falling for her, and just want to protect her, and take care of her and stuff. And it's just like, and then at the end she has to kind of leave, and you're just like, no.
It's devastating.
It is devastating.
Once more, Up was another one that destroyed me.
Yeah, that's also
completely.
Mad. I think just everyone speaks about that opening sequence and stuff.
Even generally lesser considered Pixar movie like Cars is about
totally.
Yeah, it's really about the fear of being forgotten.
Especially
about
Cars
Doc.
1 and 3. Like 3 kind of flips the story and makes it about Lightning.
Lightning is the new Doc.
I mean, he is he's basically like Cars 3 is kind of like his swan song. Like he basically wants to keep racing, but he knows he's getting older. He's not as fancy as the newer models that are there and stuff like that. And he just has to kind of gracefully let go of that idea, but. It's more than it's more layered. I think Cars 3 was pretty good. Like it's a redeeming quality, the redeeming edition of the Cars trilogy.
Yeah, I mean Cars 2 was possibly one of I think Pixar's first true misstep.
I mean, it felt very
and
straight
to date maybe the
kind
only
of.
one. Yeah, it felt like a cash-in sequel that shouldn't have had any of the original cast.
Yeah, this is true.
And I mean also because they focused on Mater.
Yeah, which is Mater's a great supporting character, but otherwise I don't think.
But he can't be the face.
What else do you think? What else do you think, man? Ratatouille?
Ratatouille,
I think it's the Brad Bird films which are slightly different from the general
maybe
Pixar
because
films.
Brad Bird's got like bigger concerns, but Ratatouille is about discovering your own identity in a big way.
I mean,
right?
like you could. I mean, it's well within the Pixar brand, I'd say.
Easily.
But I don't know if I cried in that, and this is my point.
Just
think about it.
Brad Bird doesn't make you
Did you
cry.
cry?
He makes you
It was made by Pixar.
What is the moment you would cry in Ratatouille when Anton Ego tastes the Ratatouille and is transported back to China?
Man, that's
touching.
that's less than it's not a crying moment. It's more like a Goosey's.
Yeah,
moment.
it's a Goosey's moment.
Yeah, But if you take a movie like WALL-E, again, Pete Docter, amazing film, or Finding Nemo, or Finding Dory, like all three, Finding Dory, like pretty much the character's entire characteristic is that she's got amnesia.
Yeah.
And apparently, like by doctors, that's the most legit version of amnesia that has ever been depicted on film.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, apparently. That's really what it's like.
So it mostly occurs in fishes.
Yeah. Well, yes, goldfish.
Goldfish.
But
that's a myth. They don't actually have a 5-second memory.
Yeah, they're remembering all of this. They're judging us hard.
Like, I saw what you did, man.
Oh man. But I think even in WALL-E also, I mean, the fear of being forgotten is definitely part of that, because right at the very end when all his parts are replaced and stuff, all Eve or Eva wants is for him to remember. And even when
I mean,
100%.
he spends the first half of the movie alone on a planet because he's been forgotten there.
Yeah, this is true.
And it's devastating.
Solid.
Yeah, like you're only happy for him because he's found a way to keep himself busy. Like he's got hobbies,
and
I suppose.
He's an interesting dude.
He's an interesting dude.
Yeah, fun guy. And he's got a little bit of
what would you do if you were the last person on Earth? Just like continue doing your job?
I don't know, but I think... Oh man, I was trying to make an I Am Legend joke. But
no. Yeah.
All right.
But basically we're saying the fear of being forgotten hits close to home for all of us because it can be devastating, right, Jishnu?
Well done. I like it. So, let us know which is your favorite Pixar film. If you agree with us or disagree with us, or maybe you found more instances of this in some of the films that we have not mentioned, or even if we have, just let us know. Tell us about your favorite Pixar stuff. And even in the shorts, man.
Even in the shorts?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
Like Lava, I want to say.
But Lava is just a nice
Bao,
proposal.
Most recently, Bao, which opened Incredibles 2.
Right.
It's all about a mother kind of losing her son.
That's true.
To adulthood.
I mean, they keep the Pixar shots a little looser and go into exploring different themes. Like a lot of them I've found now are about identity. Like
mostly culturally kind
like
of diverse.
Bao is culturally diverse.
Sanjay
Super Team is diverse.
Yeah.
Lava is about volcanoes falling in love, I suppose. So that's
lava.
They're falling in lava. And that's very different because I don't think lavas and volcanoes get enough representation on screen. So it's good.
This is true. It's
that
culturally diverse for sure.
Mountains about sheeps, and that's also not represented enough.
Let us know what you think about these Pixar films and creations, and write to us in the comments or subscribe to our channel. Do both, in fact, and share this video with all your friends and make them cry.
Bye, you nerds.